All right, what's up, everybody? It's Dr. Jeff, Chief Medical Officer at Rythmia Life Advancement Center here in Costa Rica. Today's topic is find your inner child. So that just right off the bat, right? Like, what does that even mean? It sounds like a bunch of psycho babble, something a psychologist would tell you, right? Find your inner child. However, I'm going to break it down for you in a way that's like a way you can understand it. Most of us had some stuff go down in our life when we were kids, and we survived through it. And some of us, it was like really brutal. It was hardcore. Some of us, it wasn't as bad, but it was still a little shocking. Maybe there's an abandonment vibe, something that was upsetting to us, right? And when we were kids, there's a set of like tools we start to develop. And there's certain things we start to believe about the world and believe about ourselves. So the developmental years of a kid are really important, right? It's like 12 and under. So if you lived in utopia from age 0 to 12, then this is not the talk for you. I've never met someone like that yet. So this is probably relevant. So inner child work is the way that we can resolve and kind of like understand what it was that we went through as kids emotionally, and what sort of way that we deal with the world that's relevant today as adults, and how do we like make peace with that. So I'll give you an example. Like, I grew up, when I was under 12, I grew up in an area that was, to say the least, a little sketchy. I had some scary neighbors. I had a bar across the street. I'm not talking like a fun party college bar. I'm talking about a hardcore drinkers bar. Open at 6 a.m., hardcore drunks in there. People stealing my money, people stealing my toys, people throwing rocks at me, baseball bats being swung around, gunshots, you could hear them every night. I grew up in a rough area. So what happened as a kid is that, that's my reality. Like, that's the world I'm in, right? So I just learned how to deal with it. What I learned how to do is I learned how to be a tough, badass kid. I learned how to just be like, you know what? Like, you can come at me with whatever you want, but I'm going to be stronger than you. I'm going to be scarier than you. I'm going to be tougher than you. And I unplugged from my emotions. So, if I had my emotions present in that environment, my emotions would be really, really scary. I'd be fearful. I'd be worried. I'd be scared. I would be, hurt. I'd be, all these heartbroken, all these kind of things, right? So my emotions left me at a young age. They were gone. And what I did is I survived. And I did a darn good job at surviving. There's nothing wrong with surviving. There's nothing wrong with getting through a rough childhood. Okay, so we all have different versions of what that is. My family, thank goodness, was not abusive or rough, but my environment was. Some of us have a nice environment, but our family was abusive and rough, right? So there's all these different circumstances. But the bottom line is, what you went through as a kid set you up for what you are doing now as an adult. We have lack of trust of others. We suck in relationships. We don't trust our intuition. We're not really showing the world who we really are. We're not really engaging with people and communicating in a way that's authentic, right? There's all these things that materialize as adults that are all coming from when we were kids. We were scared, and we were upset, we were hurt, we were hiding, we were surviving. So how do you resolve that, right? That's the question. How the heck do you resolve childhood trauma? It's stuff that went on when you were a kid, right? Well, you can do what I was taught in school, which is you can go to therapy for 10 years. You can go on meds. You can go in and out of the psych hospital. You can have a drug and alcohol addiction. You can avoid all kinds of stuff. You can get divorced 10 times. You can like have all these friends come and go, and you can do all this crazy nonsense. That's one way, okay? That's one way. That's the way a lot of people go because they don't know any other way. Or you can plug into yourself and figure this out for yourself. You could do that very quickly on plant medicine. You can also do that very quickly by meditating. You can also do it by exercising and by doing all kinds of holistic remedies that exist in the world. Now, a lot of us do not have access to all these different holistic things. That's why we exist at Rythmia. So you can come here, you can plug into yourself, you can resolve what went down in your childhood through plant medicine. And it's very quick. It's super fast. When I did plant medicine for the first time, I actually met myself as a child. Now, that's not how it goes for everybody, but I did. I saw the little me. I said, dude, what is wrong? Why are you running away? Why are you tripping? Why are you scared? What's going on? And then my little self just said, I'm just nervous living in this neighborhood. I don't like my neighbors. I don't like all these things. I'm just scared. I understood as an adult why I had this tough persona. The reason is because I was scared as a kid. That's it. That's the reason. It was very simple. It's not some brain surgery. It's not some crazy thing that takes a doctor to tell you. It's not something you need to spend thousands and thousands and thousands and 20 years of therapy for. You were scared. You were surviving. You were trying to understand your environment. You were getting through it the best way you could. And you had to develop certain tools to cope and get through things. So for me, my tool, my coping skill was, and luckily because I'm a big dude, was I'm tough and I'll fight you and stay away from me. That's what I did. Other people have a different strategy. They hide, they become reclusive, they become more shy, they become victims. There's all these types of things that happen, right? There's an array of different coping mechanisms we have to deal with this. So finding your inner child, right, gets thrown around in psychology, psychiatry, all these different things. You know, what does that even mean? It means finding who you were in your childhood that was being abused, hurt, neglected, or abandoned. Find out who that person was and figure out why and make peace with it. And the quickest way I've ever seen it be done is with plant medicine. That's just, for me, my experience, the quickest way. There's going to be 20 people lined up outside my door telling me there's other ways to do it, and I totally agree. There are other ways to do it. There's lots of ways to do it. But I just know this. Plant medicine does it quickly. It does it in a safe way, helps you plug into yourself and resolve with your inner child, right? Your inner child is your true self. As an adult, we have all these coping mechanisms. We got, I got my manners, I got my etiquette, I got my appropriateness at work, and I got my this. You know what? Bottom line is, I just want to go play in the sand. I want to go surf. I want to go run on the beach. I want to play with the dogs. I want to play with my kids and my family. That's what I want to do. That's the bottom line. Okay, so I'm a child at heart. So are all of you. But we're told that we have to live this other way that keeps us away from our youth, or away from our childhood. Okay, so what plant medicine does at Rythmia is it plugs you back into yourself as a child, helps you make peace with yourself, heal your childhood self, resolve and understand what's going on, right? You can really figure out what the heck is going on with you when you're aware of the trauma and the pain and the fear and all this stuff you went through as a kid, the confusion. You can make peace with it. So finding your inner child is super key to being happy in life. If you just want to live like an adult, go ahead, right? Have fun on the stock market, working 12 hours a day, and just do that all the time. Yeah, just forget about your childhood. Forget about being happy. Just grind it out. And just like focus on stuff that no one gives a shit about. But you, in theory, guess what? You don't care about it either. What you care about is being happy, connected to yourself, connected to other people, and being loved and loving others and feeling happy and grounded. That's the bottom line. That's what life's about, okay? So if that's what you're seeking and you feel you've kind of gotten away from it, come to Rythmia and let your inner child come out. Let it come out. This is the perfect place for it. We look forward to seeing you. Pura vida. Thanks for watching. See you guys next Monday.